We're here in San Antonio at Distributech 2014, and I'm here with Amit Narayan from AutoGrid. That's a company that I haven't heard much about, so tell us a little bit about AutoGrid.
At AutoGrid, our mission is to index the world's energy data. Over $1 trillion are going to be invested on the grid to bring the data, connect every asset on the supply chain, whether it's a transformer on the pole top or a HVAC system in this trade show. And every asset is going to get billions of sensors. Our mission is to see how the hundreds of thousands of petabytes of data that will get generated from this supply chain can be used effectively to make the overall system more reliable, more efficient, and ultimately more cost effective.
Now, one of the companies you've partnered with is Schneider Electric. I mean, how are you working with them?
We have a great partnership with Schneider Electric. Even though Schneider is a huge company with over 150,000 employees, they have been engaged with us almost like a startup. They have a really focused group which is looking at energy efficiency in residential buildings. They have a great product called Wiser Home Energy Management System, which is a consumer engagement platform which comes with its own set of devices, and it creates a system within a home where electricity users can save money and get more information about how they're consuming electricity. What we do is add an angle where utilities can now take advantage of these engaged customers and get these customers to change their behavior when the grid is stressed. And in return, the utilities are able to pay the customers and improve the value proposition of them buying Wiser home energy management system. So it's an integrated system which has value both for the utilities as well as to their end customers.
So how does the AutoGrid platform itself work once you get that information from the devices?
So we are doing something called demand response, which is essentially a way for end users to monetize any flexibility that they might have in their consumption patterns. So for example, if the grid is stressed, the grid operator can send a signal to the end customer saying that we are willing to pay you $1.25 for every unit of reduction that you can do between 2 to 6 p.m. on a particular day. And if the user wishes to engage in this program and take advantage of this incentive, then they can set their thermostat down by a couple of degrees, which will save a few kilowatt hours of electricity, which then they can use for other purposes. And so on an average, they get maybe $200 to $300 of benefits every year, which could be substantial given the overall cost of electricity in their homes.
Given the overall scale of the grid, I mean, how big do you see this getting? What do you see as the potential for it?
Well, this is the holy grail and also the biggest bang for the buck. If you think about demand response, it is the cheapest, cleanest source of power. And about 20% of the total peak capacity is served by generators today that are used for less than 1% of the hours. These are typically the most expensive generators, and they're also the dirtiest generators. And so there are many surveys that predict that about 20% of this peak capacity, which in United States alone constitutes about $400 billion of investment in generation capacity, can be addressed by giving incentives to the customers to be more reactive to the grid's needs.
So how have you worked together with Schneider? Where have you implemented these things?
So we are working with a number of utilities right now with Schneider. We haven't announced a specific customer so far. We are working with a large East Coast utility as our first deployment, and we have over 10 different discussions with utilities going on where they are interested in deploying our joint solution.
So what additional areas do you see then for ongoing cooperation?
So, I mean, we have a number of different opportunities that we are pursuing around demand response, but Schneider also has a lot of assets on the grid across the supply chain, whether it's in the buildings. Schneider Electric is in 60% of the buildings in North America. They have over 1,000 utilities who use Schneider's weather forecasting services. They have the best in breed weather forecasting engine out there in the world. They have a team which is very engaged, very high quality team out there. and we are looking at integrating our solution with a number of these assets to see how we can bring data in, we can provide more insights to their customers, and create systems that can run the overall supply chain more effectively.
So it looks like your booth is very busy today at the show. Are you happy with the turnout?
Yes, this has been a great conference for us. We have been able to meet more than 50 customers in one place from all over the world, not just North America, from Japan and Europe. And so it's been a great show for us.
All right, thank you, Amit.
Okay.